Alright, we've transitioned our motor over and we've set our cam locker at the back of the left hand side of the vehicle now. Heiko's just pulling the guides off of that middle chain, so we found our marks on our crank to set this side up to strip it down. Pretty much you'll see here on the gear, it'll have, for this one here, it'll have a little left written on there, and this gear also means you're working on the left hand side. This side will have like a little right somewhere, like it was saying the right hand side. So as you can see, this mark here for the inlet is in the right angle here, and this mark here is pointing towards the inlet manifold, and our exhaust on the left hand side here is pointing away from the head, and it'll be the same as that one there, but like that, pointing away from the head. So those cams are pretty much ready for a setup. Heiko's just pulling the bottom tensioner out, and then once he pulls that bottom tensioner out, we'll pull this top tensioner out, the side tensioner out, and then this tensioner, and so on until we actually remove the actual whole chain. A bit of wear there, I mean. Yeah. A little bit. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty. This one's pretty bad. It's probably the worst VE I've worked on in a long time. VZs are very common for it, but yeah. Alright, that's the top guide out. Alright, so we should be able to have enough slack just to pop this chain off, like so. And there's our chain. As you can see, it's pretty gummed up inside. Very heavenly, very unwantedly. But anyway, alright. So now we're just going to pull the actual timing chain itself off. I'll just throw this over in a bucket here we've got going. So it's very critical you start setting your timing marks up on your strip down, so when it comes to put it back together, you've already got a system in place to put it back together. So when we put it back together, as I was saying earlier, is we start from the left hand side and work to the right with the new chains, which we'll demonstrate as we get going. And as for cleaning a lot of these components, I reckon we'll probably zip them down into work. I'll go and use that hot wash.
Yep.
That'll clean that cover. It'll be a lot quicker. In your cases, if you've got a big bucket, go to Bunnings, get a big bucket, degreaser, scrubbing brush, and you go to town, guys. Happy good luck, as we say, and you'll have some fun too doing it. You're going to get covered in muck. So yeah, so we're going to cheat a little bit, and then we're going to use a high pressure cleaner which is a hot wash at work, which we use for cleaning trucks down and so on. Yeah, next guide's out now. So we take the tensioner off, then we remove the guides, and that will slacken the chain up enough to. Ooh. Yeah, there's no resistance there. She's going to be messy. Yeah, as Heiko's just doing now is getting another tub. The reason for that is we try and keep everything in sections. So bolts, when we do the top half of the engine strip down, that all goes in one tub, and then when we get to the rock covers, that goes in another tub. Timing bolt, cover bolts go into another tub, and anything associated with the timing cover. And then aircon's the same, so all the aircon powered steering bolts, put them in another tub. It just makes it a bit easier when you're assembling. You're not running around looking for, I think, where's that 10mm bolt gone, or where's that 13mm bolt gone, and hang on, what have I done with that? Well, hang on, that's, you know, just a bit more organised, that's all. Oh, this one's straight. Yeah, that's another thing too. We had one we did a VE, well, was it last year, Igo?
Yeah.
And the actual pivot point bolts, where we'll show you, demonstrate in a minute, was actually not true, so it was on a slight angle. So when we torqued it all up, and then, you know, done an oil change and then started it up, it just rattled like a rattlesnake, and it wouldn't go away. And we knew something was up, and then we stripped down again, which is obviously a lot of work, as you can see, and we found out one of these pivot guides, this edge here, was on an angle. So when we torqued it up, it kinked it, so it actually made the guide not
Sit on an angle.
sit on a bit of an angle, which
Not true.
yeah, so it kind of like jammed the actual guide, so the guide couldn't flex and move with the tensioner. And so yeah, so we have had a little case of that before. It's probably, I've only seen it once. I've only seen it the once, but yeah, it had us bamboozled because we'd used a good kit as well. And just one thing we overlooked, so now we check all of them now when we're stripping them down, make sure they're all right. They're pretty expensive. What were they, about like 28 bucks for one or something?
38 bucks,
yeah,
mate.
from
Holden.
from Holden. So yeah, just a bit of a heads up on that. But look,
Hang on to them, don't throw them out.
yeah, yeah. Even if you replace them, just keep a couple of spare ones in a tub or something in a toolbox if you're going to be doing more of these, just so you've got them. We try to keep a little bit of everything. Cool. Now that's that last guide out, so we pretty much can start working this chain off, which is quite simple. Once the guides are out, they just drape. So, and that's our last chain out. So now it's just bloody cleaning up, prepping, cleaning parts, and then start assembling again. So I'm not going to go through details on cleaning stuff because it's taking too long with trying to film it all and do the job at the same time. So we'll move on to our cleaning stage, and then when we start to assemble, I'll show you how to assemble the timing and check timing marks and run it back through to its final stages. Cool, cheers guys.